Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand something very powerful today. Truth will always rise, and what is hidden in the dark will always be brought to the light. There's a divine order in this universe, a system established by the Almighty Himself where justice is never denied, only delayed. When you walk in righteousness, when you commit yourself to truth and integrity, you don't have to fight battles that are not yours. You don't have to expose people. You don't have to chase down lies, because the Almighty Himself will expose every deception, every manipulation, and every hidden scheme working against you. The problem with darkness is that it cannot hide when the light shows up, and the problem with deceit is that it always underestimates the power of truth. There are people in your life right now who have smiled in your face while plotting behind your back. They have pretended to celebrate you while secretly hoping for your downfall. They have stood next to you acting as if they support you while whispering against you in places you cannot hear. But let me tell you something. The Most High sees it all. He hears the conversations you weren't invited to. He reads the messages that were never sent to you. He knows the traps that were set in the dark, and He will not allow them to prosper. You don't need to waste your energy trying to prove your innocence, trying to fight battles in your own strength. When the Almighty is on your side, He will vindicate you in a way that no man can deny. He will turn the very pit that was dug for you into a platform for your elevation. He will take what was meant to destroy you and use it to develop you. He will prepare a table for you in the presence of your enemies, not in secret, not behind closed doors, but in the open, where all can see that His hand is upon you. Some of you have been feeling the weight of betrayal, the sting of dishonesty, and the frustration of being misunderstood. You've been wondering when justice will come, when the truth will finally be known. I am here to tell you today, hold your peace. The Almighty has already set a time for exposure. The ones who lied on you, the ones who tried to sabotage you, the ones who thought they got away with it, they are about to be revealed. Not by your might, not by your words, but by the divine order of justice that cannot be escaped. So keep your hands clean. Keep your heart pure. Keep walking in integrity. You don't have to fight for yourself, because the one who sees all things will fight for you. And when He exposes them, it will not be to destroy you, it will be to establish you. It will not be to shame you, it will be to elevate you. And when He lifts you up, no one can bring you down. Truth is a force that cannot be silenced, buried, or ignored. It is not subject to the limitations of time, nor can it be controlled by the schemes of men. No matter how deeply deception is planted, no matter how carefully lies are woven into a false narrative, truth has a way of breaking through. It may seem as though darkness has won, as though dishonesty and manipulation have gained the upper hand, but that is only an illusion. The Almighty has established a principle in creation. What is hidden will always be revealed, and what is concealed will eventually come to light. Some people believe they can hide forever behind falsehoods, cover their tracks with secrecy, and escape the consequences of their actions. But there is no darkness deep enough, no deception clever enough, and no scheme sophisticated enough to escape the all-seeing eyes of the Most High. He watches the movements of men, hears the conversations spoken in secret, and knows the motives behind every action. There are people who have plotted against you in ways you cannot see, who have spoken words against you in rooms you have never entered. But what they fail to understand is that truth cannot be suppressed indefinitely. When the appointed time comes, truth will rise with undeniable power. The false accusations, the rumors, the misrepresentations, none of them will stand when truth steps onto the scene. You don't need to chase down every lie or defend yourself against every false claim. The truth is your defender. It may take time, but when it finally comes forth, it will do so with such force that no argument, no excuse, and no justification will be able to stand against it. You must hold firm in the moments when deception seems to prevail. Do not be discouraged when it appears as though dishonesty is being rewarded and integrity is being overlooked. That is only temporary. The Most High has already determined the moment when the truth will be revealed, and when it is, it will be undeniable. Those who once believed the lie will have no choice but to acknowledge what was always true. Those who participated in deception will have to face the reality of their actions. Your responsibility is to remain steadfast, to continue walking in righteousness, and to trust that truth is working even when you cannot see it. The exposure will come, and when it does, it will not only reveal the lies, it will confirm your integrity, establish your credibility, and position you for elevation. What was meant to destroy you will become the very evidence that proves you were always standing on the right side. So stand firm, because truth is not just coming, it is already on its way. You do not have to waste your strength fighting battles that were never yours to fight. There is a greater hand at work, a divine justice system that cannot be manipulated or controlled by human effort. When you walk in integrity, when you stand on the foundation of righteousness, the Almighty takes responsibility for your defense. You do not need to chase down rumors, argue against false accusations, or try to convince people of your truth. The one who sees all and knows all will fight for you in ways that no man can. There are people who have tried to undermine you, who have spread lies about you, who have sought to turn others against you. They believe that their words, their actions, and their schemes will go unnoticed. But what they fail to realize is that every hidden attack, every whispered betrayal, and every false accusation is already known by the Most High. You don't have to waste your time responding to every critic, because the Almighty has already assigned a response on your behalf. When He fights for you, He does it in a way that no man can argue with, in a way that leaves no doubt as to who was truly in the right. Many people make the mistake of thinking they must defend themselves at every turn, that they must engage in battles just to prove their innocence or protect their reputation. But the moment you take matters into your own hands, you remove them from the hands of the one who can handle them far better than you ever could. You don't need to get revenge. You don't need to expose people yourself, and you don't need to justify yourself to those who have already decided to misunderstand you. The one who called you, the one who set you apart, will ensure that the truth is revealed at the right time. What often looks like a delay is actually divine preparation. While your enemies are busy plotting, the Almighty is preparing your victory. While they are working behind the scenes to bring you down, He is setting the stage for your rise. The same people who try to ruin you will have no choice but to witness your elevation. The same mouths that spoke against you will be silenced when they see that their words carried no power against the truth. So, don't waste your energy on retaliation. Don't let frustration pull you into unnecessary battles. Keep your peace. Keep your focus. Keep walking in integrity. The Almighty will not only fight for you, He will do it in such a way that even your enemies will have to acknowledge that His hand has been on your life all along. When He steps in, there will be no debate, no confusion, and no question about who was truly on the right side. Stay still, because your vindication is already in motion. Betrayal is one of the most painful experiences a person can go through, yet it is often the very thing that pushes you into your greatest elevation. The ones who turned against you, the ones who smiled in your face but worked against you in secret, the ones who pretended to be for you while secretly trying to sabotage you, they were all playing a role in something much bigger than themselves. They thought they were destroying you, but in reality, they were positioning you for something greater. Throughout history, those who have been called to great things have experienced betrayal. It is a painful but necessary part of the process, because it exposes who is truly for you and who is only pretending. It removes the distractions, clears the path, and refines your spirit, so that when you step into your next level, you are surrounded only by those who are meant to be there. The betrayal you experienced was not meant to break you. It was meant to separate you from what could not go with you into your destiny. Some of you have been asking why certain people turned against you, why those you trusted the most were the ones who hurt you the deepest. But what you need to realize is that if they had not walked away, if they had not betrayed you, you would have never seen what was truly in their heart. The exposure was necessary. It may have hurt, but it was also a blessing. It freed you from false alliances, from relationships that were not built on truth, and from people who only wanted to be close to you for what they could gain. What was meant for your destruction will become the very thing that propels you forward. The rejection, the lies, the schemes, they were all tools being used to push you into a greater position. Your enemies thought they were burying you, but they were actually planting you. They thought they were ending you, but they were setting the stage for your rise. And when you emerge, when you step into the fullness of your purpose, they will have no choice but to watch as everything they tried to stop only made you stronger. So do not waste your time dwelling on who left, who betrayed you, or who tried to bring you down. Do not let bitterness take root in your heart. Instead, recognize that their betrayal was your breakthrough, their rejection was your redirection, and their deception was your revelation. The very thing that was supposed to defeat you has now become the proof that you were destined for something greater. What they meant for evil, the Almighty has already turned for your good. Stay the course, because your elevation is already in motion. There are moments in life when it feels like you have been thrown into a pit, abandoned and forgotten. You look around and see no way out, no clear path forward, and no explanation for why you are in this situation. The pit is a place of isolation, a place of darkness, a place where it seems like everything is working against you. But what you must understand is that the pit is not your final destination. It is only a stage in your journey. The very place where you were thrown down is the same place where your elevation will begin. People may have plotted against you, set traps for you, and dug holes for you to fall into, believing that once you were down, you would never rise again. They spoke against you. They tried to block opportunities. They manipulated situations to make you look bad. But what they failed to realize is that the pit is not a grave, it is a platform. It is a launching pad for the next season of your life. The ones who thought they had the power to bury you did not understand that they were only preparing the stage for your breakthrough. Sometimes the pit is necessary. It separates you from the wrong people. It removes distractions, and it forces you to rely completely on the one who has the power to lift you out. When you are in that place of isolation, do not be discouraged. Do not believe the lie that it is over for you. Do not think that just because they pushed you down, they have won. What they meant for your downfall, the Almighty is using for your development. The pit is shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for something far greater than what you had before. The very people who conspired against you, the ones who tried to destroy your reputation, the ones who thought they could control your destiny, they will be the same ones who will have to watch as you rise. And when you do, it will not be by your own strength, but by the power of the one who has always had his hand on your life. When he lifts you up, it will be undeniable. When he sets you on solid ground, no one will be able to take the credit but him. So do not be afraid of the pit. Do not be discouraged when it feels like you have been cast aside. What looks like a setback is really a setup. The pit is temporary, but the platform it leads to is permanent. What was meant to bury you is actually preparing to reveal you. And when the time comes, you will rise, not just to the level you were before, but to a place far beyond what anyone ever expected. Stay strong, because your elevation is already in motion. There's nothing hidden that will not be revealed, no secret that will not be uncovered. The world operates on a divine system of justice, where deception may last for a moment, but exposure is inevitable. People may think they can manipulate, scheme, and plot in the shadows without consequence, but the truth is never truly buried. It is only waiting for the appointed time to be revealed. Some have lied on you, worked against you in secret, and built false narratives to cover their tracks. They have convinced themselves that they have escaped judgment, that no one will ever discover what they did. They have hidden behind smiles, behind positions, behind carefully constructed facades, believing that they are safe from exposure. But what they fail to realize is that the Almighty sees all, hears all, and knows all. Every whisper spoken in the dark is already recorded. Every false move made in secret is already known. There is a divine law at work that ensures deception cannot stand forever. The longer a lie is sustained, the greater the impact of its exposure. At the right time, in the right way, everything done in darkness will be brought into the light. Not through your effort, not by your hand, but by the one who rules over truth and justice. You don't need to chase after people trying to make them confess. You don't need to fight battles that belong to the Almighty. When he decides to expose them, it will be undeniable. Exposure is not just about revealing what has been hidden. It is about clearing your name, restoring what was taken, and elevating you to a place where no accusation can stand against you. The same people who believe the lie will have no choice but to acknowledge the truth. Those who conspired will find themselves caught in their own traps. The ones who tried to destroy you will have to watch as everything they did only worked in your favor. That is why you must remain patient. Do not be discouraged when it seems like those who do wrong are prospering. Do not grow weary when it looks like their schemes are working. They are not getting away with anything. Their exposure has already been scheduled. And when it happens, it will not be quiet, it will not be small, and it will not be hidden. Just as they worked in secret, their downfall will be public. Just as they tried to bring shame upon you, their own shame will be revealed for all to see. Keep your hands clean. Keep your heart pure. Do not be tempted to take matters into your own hands. The exposure will come, and when it does, it will be undeniable proof that the Most High has always been on your side. The truth cannot be hidden forever. Justice is already in motion. Stay firm, because the exposure is inevitable. Your greatest responsibility in the face of deception, betrayal, and opposition is to keep your heart pure and your hands clean. When people come against you, when they spread lies, when they work behind the scenes to tear you down, the greatest temptation is to respond in the flesh, to retaliate, to defend yourself at all costs, to expose them before they are exposed. But you must understand that your strength is not in your reaction. Your strength is in your restraint. There is a difference between knowing the truth and being the one to reveal it. Just because you see what others are doing does not mean you are the one assigned to expose them. When you walk in integrity, when you keep yourself from engaging in the same tactics as those who oppose you, you allow the Almighty to fight on your behalf. You do not need to manipulate to prove yourself or to clear your own name. When you remain steadfast in righteousness, the truth will defend you better than any words you could ever say. There are people who have underestimated you. They have mistaken your silence for weakness, your patience for ignorance. They think they have gotten away with their actions because you have not responded. But what they do not realize is that your silence is not fear. It is wisdom. It is a wisdom of knowing that no lie can stand forever, that no deception can outrun divine justice. Every hidden motive, every false word, every attempt to undermine you is already known by the one who sees. And when he acts, his justice will be swift, undeniable, and complete. Do not allow bitterness to take root in your heart. Do not let frustration push you to step outside of your character. The enemy's strategy is not just to deceive others. It is to provoke you into compromising your own integrity. He wants you to act out of anger, to say things you will later regret, to engage in battles that do not belong to you. But when you resist that temptation, when you choose to rise above the schemes of those who work against you, you put yourself in a position to be elevated beyond their reach. Integrity is not just about doing what is right when others are watching. It is about remaining faithful to your character, even when you are under attack. The people who have wronged you expect you to fight back on their level. They expect you to lower yourself to their tactics. But when you refuse, when you stay true to your values, you force them to deal with something they cannot fight: your unwavering integrity. And that is what will set you apart. Stay focused on your path. Keep your heart pure. Keep your hands clean. Do not be distracted by those who think they are getting away with wrongdoing. Their exposure is already set. And when it comes, you will not have to say a word. The truth will speak for itself. Keep walking in righteousness, because the very things they used against you will become the evidence of your vindication. Your patience, your faithfulness, and your unwavering character will be rewarded. And when the exposure happens, it will be clear that you were always on the right side. Vindication does not come from people. It does not come from proving yourself or from arguing your case before those who have already decided to misunderstand you. True vindication comes from the Almighty, and when He decides to clear your name, there is no opposition strong enough to stand against it. You do not have to chase after justice. Justice will find you. You do not have to beg for the truth to be revealed. The truth will rise on its own. There are people who have lied about you, who have misrepresented you, who have tried to paint a picture of you that is not true. They have convinced others to turn against you, to doubt you, to question your integrity, and for a season, it may have seemed like they succeeded. But seasons change. The same people who believe the lie will soon see the truth. The same ones who stood against you will have to stand as witnesses to your vindication. The same mouth that spoke against you will be silenced by the undeniable evidence of who you truly are. Vindication is divine. When the Most High steps in, He does not just clear your name, He elevates you in front of those who tried to bring you down. He does not just expose the lies, He makes it so that the truth is seen by everyone who needs to see it. The very people who gathered to see your downfall will be forced to witness your rise. That is why you must not waste your time trying to defend yourself. Do not get distracted by small battles when the Almighty is preparing to settle the matter in a way that no man can question. People may have counted you out, but they cannot override what has already been set in motion. No false accusation can stop what has already been written about you. No manipulation can erase the favor on your life. What they meant for evil, what they thought would destroy you, will only work in your favor. Your vindication will not come in secret. It will come in the open, where everyone can see it. Those who doubted you will have no choice but to acknowledge that the hand of the Almighty was on your life all along. So stand firm. Do not be shaken by the noise of those who think they have won. Do not be moved by the temporary success of those who build their influence on lies. Their time is short, but your victory is permanent. When the Most High vindicates you, no one can undo it. When He lifts you up, no one can bring you down. Stay faithful, stay patient, and keep walking in integrity, because your vindication is not just coming, it has already begun. There comes a moment when everything shifts, when the tables turn, when the very ones who thought they had power over your destiny realize they were never in control. The exposure is not just about revealing the truth, it is about repositioning you into the place where you were always meant to be. What was stolen will be restored, what was delayed will be accelerated, and what was meant to break you will become the very foundation of your elevation. There were people who believed they had the final say over your life. They thought that by manipulating circumstances, spreading lies, or shutting doors, they could determine your future. They assumed their influence was greater than the purpose on your life. But what they failed to understand is that no man has the power to stop what the Almighty has ordained. No scheme, no betrayal, no opposition can cancel what has already been written about you. Exposure is not just about revealing the hidden, it is about restoring what was lost. Some of you have lost opportunities because of the deceit of others. Some of you have been held back because of lies spoken behind your back. Some of you have suffered in silence while others took credit for your work, while others walked in the very places you were meant to be. But the time of restoration has come. The time when everything that was stolen must be returned. The time when the true story must be told, and those who worked against you must watch as the Most High restores you in ways they never expected. What was meant to be your downfall will become your testimony. The pain, the betrayal, the rejection. It was all a setup for something greater. And when the exposure happens, it will not just be about showing who they really are, but about proving who you have always been. You have always been chosen. You have always been set apart. You have always been destined for something greater. And nothing they did, nothing they said, nothing they planned could ever change that. So now stand in expectation. Do not look back at the pain. Do not dwell on the past. Do not let bitterness keep you trapped in what was. Lift your head and walk forward, because what is ahead of you is greater than what is behind you. The exposure is not just about them. It is about you stepping into the fullness of your purpose. It is about you taking your rightful place. And when you do, it will be undeniable that the Almighty was with you all along. The truth has already been set in motion. Your restoration has already begun. You have nothing to fear and nothing to prove. What was done in darkness will be brought to light, not by your might, but by divine timing. Every lie will collapse under the weight of the truth. Every false accusation will be overturned. Every hidden agenda will be revealed. And when it happens, you will not have to fight, you will not have to argue, and you will not have to explain yourself. The truth will stand on its own, and those who doubted you will have no choice but to acknowledge what was always evident in the eyes of the Almighty. Your role is not to chase justice, but to walk in purpose. Do not allow bitterness, anger, or resentment to consume your heart. Do not let distractions pull you away from what truly matters. Keep moving forward, keep growing, keep trusting that what was meant to harm you is only working to elevate you. The exposure is not about revenge. It is about restoration. It is about removing what does not belong in your life and making room for the greater things ahead. Stand firm. Walk boldly and trust that everything is working in your favor. Those who worked against you thought they were burying you, but they were planting you. And when the time comes, you will rise, not as a victim, but as a testimony of what happens when you remain faithful, when you keep your integrity, and when you refuse to let darkness define your destiny. The stage is already set. The exposure is already in motion. And when it all unfolds, it will be clear you were never alone, and you were always destined to overcome.